Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody that it's like they lost a receipt, they lost the ID they need, they lost something here that would have guaranteed that they could fix whatever was broken or address this issue. So it's something that is written down, or it's something that they can use to gain access. It could even be a password. But this is somebody who's freaking out. We've got a lot of anxiety, or even somebody who's like pacing back and forth. And it's because whatever was going to help me in this situation is no longer available for me. So what do I do? Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. Hey, how's it going, Key Controller? Hello, Jamie. Happy Friday, everyone. If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And I've also recently launched memberships. That's also linked in the description box for you. We've got a members only for the stars and the towers tiers that will happen in about an hour and a half. So hopefully you can join for that. Let's see. We're going to start with the Pope Tarot. Oh, and also I'm going to do a live stream probably tomorrow. And that's going to be the Ask Me Anything. Not everything or anything, but like respectful things. There's some people that have already submitted questions to the post on my channel. If you have got one, feel free to add to that. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it be those who've subscribed to the channel that can comment in the live chat for that one. And that'll be tomorrow. All right, so we've got Judgment and Sun in the reverse. 7 of Cups in the reverse. This is like losing your passport when you're in a different country. This person's freaking out. I feel like somebody is tearing up a room or, looking everywhere possible and they can't find what they're looking for. It's almost like we've got somebody who's assuming, oh, I think somebody took what I'm missing. Oh, thank you, Jesse. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Ruben. How are you doing? So I definitely feel like we've got somebody that is maybe a little bit paranoid, but they also might be right that somebody took what they're in need of, took this thing that enables them to leave or travel or avoid consequences, perhaps, because I wanted to title it Get Out of Jail Free card. So they might have done something they're a little nervous about. We've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse, Strength, and 10 of Swords. To be honest, this feels like somebody who lost their ticket or, their debit card or whatever through no fault of their own. I feel like there's somebody here who knows this person's trying to avoid consequences. And so they were rendered stuck. Because 10 of Swords is betrayal. But it's with the Strength card. So I feel like whoever was hampering this person's ability to move freely about the cabin is doing so for the right reason. With the Ace of Swords in reverse, this is like you haven't been honest, or you haven't said what you needed to say. So whoever was trying to walk away, now they can't. 9 of Swords, 8 of Wands, 7 of Swords in reverse. So the 7 of Swords in the reverse is clarifying the 7 of Cups in the reverse. 2 sevens, both in the reverse. Interesting. I mean, I'm not going to lie, you guys. There's a certain court case this is kind of making me think of, but I'm going to try to stay focused because it might not be that. But we've got a lot of anxiety over what's going to happen, what's going to be asked, what's going to be discussed, what I need to do to make sure everything is okay. This is a lot of anxiety, not able to sleep at night, fearing that, signing up to join whatever this is, or, admitting they knew something was a horrible idea. This is like regret and anxiety all in one huge ball of awful. Because this person knows they're going to have to be truthful. This feels like they have to be honest because of who's asking the questions, which is why I feel like it could be a courtroom. We've got the 10 of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Lovers. This looks to me like somebody has had to kind of disregard the affection they felt for somebody, the love they may have felt for somebody, because they're realizing now that circumstances have changed. The person they thought they loved isn't who they thought they were. Information has come to light to make this person feel torn. I don't want to talk about these things. I don't know how to answer. I don't know how to, I haven't processed this yet myself. How am I supposed to be able to talk about it? So I think we've got somebody who would prefer to be on an island by themselves right now, but that is not an option. This is the Poe Tarot. Why are you asking questions you know the answers to? Well, that's fair, Ruben, but we got to make sure there's a little bit of balance, right? I don't read these in the reverse, by the way. We've got the Queen of Candles, which is the Queen of Wands, Death, and the Three of Paws, or the Three of Pentacles. Oh, lady dear, hast thou no fear? Why, and what art thou dreaming here? Sure thou art come o'er far-off seas, a wonder to these garden trees. A foreigner, or somebody who does things their own way, somebody who's probably seen as very attractive. They're bold. Queen of Wands is definitely bold. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? Okay, this is getting... yeah. We've got love that turned into hate, or trust that turned into distrust and suspicion. This Death card is talking about how sometimes you can both love and hate a person. Sometimes you can fear separation while also yearning for it. So this feels to me like a very toxic relationship, and someone having to realize that maybe they just need to walk away from it. The Three of Paws, or the Three of Pentacles, says, with these materials and with the aid of my trowel, I began vigorously to wall up the entrance of the niche. So even though it was a struggle, even though I wasn't entirely certain what I wanted to do, now I know what I need to do is walk away. So there's hesitation. There's a period where somebody is torn, like, I want this, but I don't. I love you, but I don't. This is somebody who may be going through a divorce, somebody who may be constantly asked by people, hey, what happened in that relationship? Or it could be a court case. It could. All right, this is the situations deck. Hey, Danny, how are you doing? Hello, Stephen. Happy Friday. So there's a risk that somebody took with regards to commitment. And this looks like a relationship with a big old red flag that somebody was like, it'll be okay. Focusing on the upside, or the whys. Why am I doing this? Why am I with this person? Instead of being honest about the things that have been maybe a little bit less than okay. We've got a negotiator, somebody who doesn't want to let go of this Queen of Wands, or didn't want to let go of this Queen of Wands. So if this is a divorce, we don't have an agreement here. It's not going to be like an easy divorce or division of assets. This is going to be somebody who fights at every chance they get or tries to blame other people. And this is the person who's trying to avoid having consequences for their actions. But they don't have a get out of jail free card anymore. Karmic, third party, relationship, lesson, and happiness, wholeness, overjoyed, smiling, settlement in the reverse. So I do think there is a change in this situation, or somebody is feeling like they've lost their escape route because all of a sudden there's somebody who I think has another side of the story, somebody who can provide some context to the situations that have happened in the past. So that's why we're getting this positive energy off of the Strength card, which Strength is Leo, Queen of Wands is tied to fire energy. So I do feel like whoever I'm reading for, this would be the person who is bold and decided to make a decision to walk away. We've got the agreement in the reverse because I feel like there's different sides telling the same story very differently, right? Here's what happened on this night. Well, not according to this other person who was supposedly also there. So it gets complex. Did I say hello to Matt? Hello, Matt. Who also loves Happy Gilmore. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. King of Swords. Wheel of Fortune again. King of Wands in the reverse. And really. So the thing is, whoever's been avoiding consequences, or they always had an escape route planned, this person has been caught red-handed. They could always talk their way out of it. Now they can't. Something has changed in their circumstances. And it's like now we've got people who are seeing the truth, or more comfortable speaking the truth. Page of Cups, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So the number 9 is important. I do think there's somebody here who was not believed early on because of their age or lack of experience, or, we just don't take you seriously. And now whatever this person has said, it has come true. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. This was not something that was going to be achieved by a single person. This is like you have to work together. Nine of Wands in the reverse to get this person to like change or to deal with the situation. So this could be a person who is quite convincing, or has money and can just pay fines. But I do think that they have quite a lot of enemies, or people that don't like them, people that have like learned a lesson from this person. To the point where now we've got, what are we calling you? We'll call you the King of Wands in the reverse. The King of Wands in the reverse is the person who has lost their get out of jail free card. This person never really expected things to get this bad, or never expected to actually have to face like consequences. They might be just a little delusional, to be honest. Whoever this person is, I don't know that they have a grasp on reality. I think this is the kind of individual who always looks for circumstantial or like environment related reasons to justify their poor decisions. But we've got something that they decided that was the wrong decision. I think we've got somebody who felt like they could trust someone they couldn't, or felt like they needed to cause drama where they didn't. Yeah, the Tower. It's like an overreaction. And that's why this person's dealing with a betrayal. So things kept escalating, and I think our King of Wands in the reverse didn't expect that someone else would also escalate. So I guess maybe we have a little bit of an ego problem here, would be my guess. Hello, Nawaji. How are you doing? Hello, Voyager. How's your day? This is the Tarot of the Nile. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. See, the thing is, sometimes you have someone that you have been able to rely on or trust for a very long time, and that gives you a sense of confidence, right? I feel like we have somebody who has been betrayed by a long-term friend, or a long-term, like, I've known you since I was 7 kind of thing, right? And this is unfortunate because, you know, you'd like to think that if you've trusted somebody for a very long time that you could continue to do so. But I do think that we have somebody who feels things were already headed down a path, so they might as well give in to. I do think this is about self-preservation. I do think that we have somebody who's betrayed the King of Wands in the reverse because it benefits them to see the King of Wands in the reverse have some issues. So this is kind of complex. I don't know that there's a lot of loving feeling going on here. Seems like a lot of hurt feelings, resentment, and I'll show you. So we've got the Magician, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Swords is in the reverse. So our King of Wands, they felt pretty confident that they were going to be able to be a winner, or like get what they wanted where they were negotiating something. They were quite confident they had the right team, they had the right information, or the money, whatever it is. But they ran into this Ace of Wands, which was more powerful than they expected. And I feel like the Ace of Wands is actually a person. It is clarifying strength, after all. This is somebody who overestimated their own buying power, their own regular power, their own manipulation tactics, whatever it is. They were unable to get what they want. And I think it's because finally people are not willing to work with this person, or are not willing to deal with their crap. They've made some assumptions based on old situations, and now they're finding that they're much less powerful, or they're much less capable than they originally were, or even just, weeks ago. Hey, Voyager. Hey, Realm of Bedlam. Meow. How's it going? So we've got Devil in the reverse. Eight of Swords in the reverse. And Nine of Cups. This is somebody who used to be like 2 peas in a pod, or like we were the same, right? We had the same outlook, or we grew up together, or we, laugh at the same jokes. Yeah. This kind of feels to me like we've got people that have done things that they shouldn't have, and they did them together. And now they're deciding how things should be figured out because somebody here is not the way they used to be. Like they've found God, Jesus, whatever. They've got a new lease on life and they don't want this, right? So this is the person who's nervous to be talking about what happened. I'm not like that anymore. I don't want to like admit that I've done these things, but like also I don't know what's going to happen with regards to this King of Wands in the reverse. Hanged Man, the World, and the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is something that happened a while back. And I do feel like there's things that have been found out online. So there may have been like pictures or, figuring out where somebody was. We might have some internet sleuthing, but I do think that this is somebody who cannot sidestep whatever this issue is. There's just too much information or too much that makes a coherent story for them to be able to like go against it. So this King of Wands in the reverse, maybe for the first time, is feeling like they're actually stuck. This is The Truth Is. What else do we have? We've got break. Time apart will be beneficial to this connection. Interesting, we have another sunflower. So someone has been able to find happiness after they have been separated from or started a life after dealing with this King of Wands in the reverse. But the past is causing blocks in the present. This is why we have the Nine of Swords, right? Somebody who doesn't know what they're dealing with or what's going to come next, feels a little bit scary. Money problems. Lack of money is causing tension. I do think our King of Wands in the reverse has in the past been manipulative through financial abuse or, offered to pay people things if they, made things easier on them. Settling, accepting less than you deserve. And double life. So we've got somebody whose double life is being exposed. And I do feel like the individual who, our King of Swords, who's probably also this strength individual or the Queen of Wands, I feel like this person has had to really think about how they want to approach this situation. They have to be very strong in their concept of who they are, because I do think there's going to be a lot of like attacks sent their way. Perhaps unfair, because this King of Wands in the reverse is the type to throw a tantrum. They're not exactly patient. Interesting. Hi, Thor. How's it going? So we've got broken, shattered, heartbroken, destroyed, longing, craving, aching, wanting. Foundation, established, family, security. So I do feel like this is somebody who comes from a pretty powerful or rich family. But this is a difficult situation because they've done something they shouldn't have. And somebody that was involved, or a couple people that were involved, are talking about what happened. We have another time and nourish. But we have people who have gone through healing. So I do feel like this is a traumatic event that somebody is getting called out for. And there's a lot of loyalty that may have been just under the surface or people didn't realize was there. I feel there are people that have gone through similar situations and they are leaning on each other. It could just be two people, could be more than that. This is the Voyage of the Soul. What else do we have? Pumpkin pie, huh? What else do we have? Seasons, elements, spring, summer, fall, winter, and tomorrow. Begin again, continue ahead, better days, and relief. Yeah, this feels to me like somebody who's changed their life, but for some reason they have to revisit this. And it could be because of a court or legal situation, or just like running into this person. But I do think this Queen of Wands has made a bold move to walk away or change their life. And then we have the Dimensions card. Portals, astral travel, otherworldly, unseen, metaphysical, and wisdom. There's something about this Queen of Wands. They do have a different approach to some things. And I do think that a lot of people underestimate their intelligence. They have learned things, I think, at a younger age than many other people have. You've got collective, global, together, united. That's what I'm saying. There's like a united front here, at least with two people, maybe three or more. But this is like, we've been through something similar. Oh gosh, I just moved my whole table. We've been through something similar and we can connect over that. And I do feel it's like they're moving a mountain together because they're working together. So I think things have changed quite a lot to favor not the King of Wands in the reverse, but everybody else, right? So the King of Wands in the reverse is freaking out because this shift is not something they expected. They felt like they would always be on the top of the Wheel of Fortune. They are not. This is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. What else do we have? Ten of Cups in the reverse, Justice, and the Nine of Wands in the reverse, right next to the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So this is about justice. This is about karma. Somebody has avoided it for a long time. There are multiple people that they've messed with or betrayed, done mean things to, and they've done something here where now they no longer have this protection. I don't know if they no longer are friends or if they literally lost their get out of jail free card. Those don't actually exist, you guys, right? Right? Just asking for a friend. Now this is somebody, wow, this is literally about jail. Eight of Swords, Four of Swords. That's jail. Yeah, I think we've got somebody whose mistakes, no, that's too generous, whose poor decisions are finally catching up with them. And it's in part because there are multiple people that can talk about what happened. We have the Hierophant in the reverse. This is a lack of morals or a lack of respect for the law. And Six of Pentacles, things being made fair. You didn't do this right. You fabricated that, or you misreported this, or you paid this person off. Time to what? Pay the piper? They're not getting away with the same ish as they were in the past. So it's a rude awakening for them because they've gotten quite used to being able to do what they want, apparently. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. Let's see what else we've got. Judgment in the reverse, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 4 of Cups. Okay, so what I just saw was the little prompt that comes up on the iPhone when you have to do a new software update. I hate software updates. I appreciate that the goal is to like improve the software, but having worked around that, I also know that a lot of times that software updates got bugs in it, and maybe it's nice to like wait a little bit. But then I never go back and do it, so that's problematic. This is somebody who's getting like, they got a bunch of notices, right? You've got to do this. You should do that. Why haven't you addressed this? And they were just kind of like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Nope, not now. Not my thing. Whatever they put off, whatever they didn't address, it's coming back to really cause some damage. Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands in the reverse. This is like punishment. So jail is absolutely on the table, but this is somebody who's getting very bad news. And I feel like they missed like a court appearance, or they didn't pay their court fees. I don't know. There's something here about not paying attention to a notification. You should have done that thing. You didn't. And then, I don't know, you go to jail. Wow, another 6 of Pentacles. 2 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, Empress in the reverse. I just heard your mama can't save you now, which is stressful. Dang, okay. We've got somebody who's gotten themselves into a situation that is not easy to get out of. And with the Ace of Cups being in the reverse, I feel like this is somebody who cares about the King of Wands in the reverse saying, you're on your own. What do you want me to do to help you? I can't help you out of this mess. Like, yeah, you went a little too big this time. You did too much. So I think there's some serious consequences for somebody in a legal sense. I do feel like somebody's going to jail. Please remember to not take this reading as your reading unless it really is. And then keep in mind that sometimes it's part of the reading that resonates for you, right? But what I see here is somebody who has done something multiple times, feeling like they can get out of it because of who they are, and now they can't. Now it's like your karma is here, and in case you were wondering, it's bad karma. It's not good karma, okay? This person's struggling with that because they've felt like they could hit delay or they could avoid it for so long. Now it's like that button doesn't work anymore and they're freaking out like, what do you mean? No, I don't want to. All right, I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat some food. Hello, James. How are you doing? I will be back shortly with another live stream, so hope to see you there. Thank you for the likes and subscribes, and I'll see you later. Toodles.